Hello everyone, James Kenobi here. I want to do another quick little show-off video. I've really enjoyed on Tested when they'll do a show and tell, is actually what they call it. And I have a little prop here that I love to death. I think it's great. And one of the things I like about it is the fact that it's very small, it's very simple, but to me it's something that's so iconic. I really enjoy it, and I just wanted to share it with you. This is what it is. I can't hold it too close because my camera is set to focus a little bit further away. This is a Star Wars comlink. The comlink, you probably remember it mostly from the original Star Wars movie, when Luke Skywalker puts on the Stormtrooper armor. When he goes in disguise, him and Han Solo on the Death Star, you'll see that there's one of these attached to his belt. Awfully convenient that the one of the things that's bothered me about Star Wars all these years is there were two stormtroopers that were guarding the door to the Millennium Falcon. Han Solo says, "Hey down there, could you give us a hand with this?" And they turn and they go up. And one of them is a regular trooper who looks like every other stormtrooper that you see in movies. The other one happens to have both a comlink and a grappling hook on his belt. And that's the suit Luke puts on, of all people. If Han had put that suit on, Luke and Leia wouldn't have had a grappling hook. But this is the little comlink. So there's a scene where, you know, when they're they leave C-3PO and R2-D2 in the control room, and you know the gang goes out. The Han and Chewie and Luke go to rescue Princess Leia, and they fall in the trash compactor, and the walls are closing in. And Luke grabs his communicator, you know, his comlink, as they're called, and he's like, you know, C-3PO, come in, C-3PO, and 3PO's turned it off. It's sitting on the counter, you know, in there, and the stormtroopers blast their way in through the door, and one of them hits his head on the door, and they open the door, and C-3PO says, you know, they're madmen, they're heading for the prison level. If you hurry, you might catch them. Stormtroopers leave, and you see C-3PO sitting on the table, and he picks it up. I think they actually shot it in reverse because it was so hard for him. And then a little bit later on, the trash compactor's compacting, and 3PO and R2 are plugged into the computer across the bay from the ship, and they're trying to find the gang, and R2 says to 3PO, you know, why don't you try to get him on the comlink? And C-3PO says, oh, I forgot I turned it off. And he's like, hello, sir, are you there? Hello, you know, and the walls are crushing in the trash compactor. And so, you know, Luke and C-3PO have a little conversation. And the comlink was never really prominently featured in in Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi, like it was in Star Wars. This is a great little replica. The thing I love about it is, to me, it's iconic. You see this, you know exactly what it is. You should if you're a Star Wars fan. And it's made out of metal. This piece here is metal. This is a copy of a model kit part that was used in the movie. This piece originally was plastic, and it's two halves. It's a little model kit piece of a radial engine, and they used part of it on Han Solo's gun on the front. You see it in a couple other places in the original trilogy on different props. And the tip here may look familiar because if you've seen a Stormtrooper helmet, there's actually two of them right here. You know, there's little holes and they stick out in the front. And I believe it was a microphone tip actually originally. I think that's what we've decided that it is. One of the things I really love about this is that we're talking in 1976, when this movie was being shot. Cell phones didn't exist, walkie-talkies existed, but Lucas had the foresight to think, you know, you're going to be able to have something this small that you can hold in your hand, and you'll be able to speak into it, and someone's going to be able to hear you miles and miles and miles away, further than a walkie-talkie, further than a radio. And when they speak and they return, you're going to be able to hear it also. I mean, this really is a precursor to a cell phone in a lot of ways. Obviously, it doesn't have any buttons. I don't know how Luke gets 3PO without getting everybody else. I don't quite know how that works, but, you know, it's Star Wars technology. But to me, it's a small, simple prop that is very neat, very iconic, very easily identifiable. It's one of those just neat little tchotchke pieces I like to have in my collection, because to me it's a direct connection to Star Wars: A New Hope, the original '77 film, especially because it's so prominently featured. It's just, you know, it doesn't have to be this massively expensive lightsaber. It doesn't have to be this very intricate set piece or costume or something. It's just a little piece, makes me happy. So it's one of my favorite pieces in my collection. The best part about it is it wasn't very expensive. Even though it is machined metal and plastic, it didn't cost a whole lot of money. So I just wanted to do a little show and tell on this Star Wars Comlink, featured very prominently with Luke Skywalker and C-3PO. And that's it for my show and tell today. I hope to do another one of these. I've got to think of interesting little things that I think you guys would like to see. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time.